What is going on, guys? I am your host, Francis Beau, to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on anything going on in the world of entertainment. And yeah, we are here for my first movie review. My first movie review of 2019. Now, I know what you guys are automatically going to be asking me, Francis, where the heck is that vlog video that you've been discussing about? Do not worry, I'm working on it. I'm gonna have it posted very, very soon. I just want to get this review out just because I have thoughts on this movie, and I really want to get them out. So do not worry, that video is coming. It'll be coming very, very soon. But let's talk about Glass. Glass is the first movie that I've seen this year, and I saw it on Friday, and I have thoughts. So let's get into it. Glass, for those who don't know, is the final installment in M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable Saga, aka the East Trail 177 trilogy, as he likes to call it. I'm going to first talk about my thoughts on the first two entries, because I don't think I really got a chance to talk about them on this channel. I know I've talked about Split, but I haven't talked about Unbreakable on this channel, and I want to talk about both movies again, so that you guys get an idea of how I feel about both of them before we jump into Glass. So let me first talk about Unbreakable for a second. So Unbreakable came out in the year 2000. It came out right after M. Night Shyamalan's success with The Sixth Sense, it since has gotten a cult following, because when it first came out, it didn't really get a lot of great attention. And I will say, for me, Unbreakable is one of the more underrated movies I've ever seen. It is, for me, I think it's highly underrated for a lot of different reasons. For one of them, I really admire the grounded, realistic approach to a superhero, and it was the first of its kind to do that. I know that we have Logan and other ones like Captain America: The Winter Soldier nowadays, but this was the first. This was the first to tackle that type of storytelling tactic in a superhero movie, and I really, really admired that. And it was just really, really cool. I'm gonna take off my glasses because I could see a reflection through the camera. Hopefully, you guys can see me now. And yeah, I really, really like that tone. I really, really like that tone and atmosphere that they were trying to create, and it was original for this genre at the time, and I really, really, really like what they did with it. And Bruce Willis delivers one of his better performances ever, and I really admire. What I really, really like about this movie a lot is the filming techniques. I really liked the long shots in this movie. I really, really liked how, like, all the long shots I did. Like, a lot of the majority of Unbreakable is long shot takes. There's no quick cuts. There's no anything. There's a lot of long shots, like a ton of long shots, and I really, really admired that. And of course, the best thing about Unbreakable is the score. The score is fantastic, and it carries one of the better film themes you'll hear out there. It's really, really awesome. Done by James Newton Howard. Really, really awesome. My one bit of criticism with Unbreakable is that I wish the pacing sped up just a little bit. I think that the twist that they do in Unbreakable, I love the twist, but I think that the aftermath of that twist, I wish they didn't show through text. I wish that they actually showed us. But I really still like Unbreakable a lot. Now with Split, I remember watching Split, and I think you guys can still see my review. I still have it published on this channel. I did a review like a long time ago when I saw Split. My opinion still stands. I still really, really like Split. James McAvoy delivers the performance of his career in this movie. And the idea and the concepts of, a man dealing with multiple personalities, I think that that's a really, really interesting narrative to tell. And I think that they did it really, really well in this movie. And the supporting cast is also strong. I really liked Anna Taylor-Joy in that movie. And what I really admired also about Split is its small environment setting. I really liked how small and self-contained it was, and it has one of Shyamalan's better twists in a while. And if you don't know the twist, I think it's pretty obvious. But um, if you, I guess, spoiler territory for anybody who hasn't seen Split. But Split, the twist is that it's connected to Unbreakable, and thus now we have Glass. But um, my one criticism with Split is that at first viewing, without knowing the connection, I think that someone can get turned off by what's being presented, particularly towards the end. You know, with the fact that he is this beast character. So I think someone could definitely get tuned out. But once they understand the context of the ending, I think that you'll jump back and appreciate it more. Um, so now with Glass, Glass is of course, as I said, the conclusion to this whole saga. And well, I saw it and I have thoughts. So let's get into it. So I'll give you guys my positives, my negatives, my overall score out of 10, as we always do. So let's start with the positives first. So the first positives that I will give right off the bat for Glass is that James McAvoy was the reason to watch Split, and there's no difference here. James McAvoy is the reason to see Glass. He is as great as he was in Split. I know some people are saying that his performance in this movie might be better than his performance in Split. I slightly disagree with that. I think that he was, I think he still was I think he did a better performance in Split, but that's not taking away anything from what he did in Glass, because he did a great job in Glass. It's definitely the standout of the entire film. And all the performances in general were good. McAvoy definitely is a standout, but all the performances in general I thought were good. Bruce Willis does a good job. Samuel Jackson does a good job. Sarah Paulson, she did a good job. Her character is interesting, to say the least. I'm not gonna say anything about her character, but so Anna Taylor-Joy also does a good job. And there's some other people in the movie that I will not spoil, that are in this movie, that I'll say did a good job. And I'll say this: the first 2/3 of the movie is what kept me engaged and invested. I really liked the first 2/3 of this movie. I really liked how it started. I liked what we were being presented. The one criticism that I heard about the first 2/3, and ultimately the movie in general, is that it is an expedition heavy type movie, meaning that it's a lot of talking. And my rebuttal to that is that Unbreakable and Split were just that. They were very expedition heavy films, and they were, very talking movies. And Glass, follows the same chain, and the same formula, not the same formula, but the same technique of storytelling as the other previous entries were. And that's what you would do if you're doing a follow-up to two movies. So keep in the same the same techniques, but still present something new at the same time. So I mean, I didn't mind that. I know some people did, but I didn't mind that they were doing exhibition heavy, just because that's how the other two movies were in my eyes. So but the first 2/3 were great. I really liked how this movie started, and I really liked just the middle, the beef of it. The cinematography is really good in this movie. I didn't heard a lot of people say this, but I really like the cinematography in this movie. I like the way they play with colors in this movie. The way that they play with like different colors. You can even see it in the trailer. Like all the different colors that they play, like pink, green, yellow, purple. I really liked the way that they mess with colors in this movie, and I thought that was just really cool to see visually. And the camera techniques were great for the most part. The long shots are great. They bring back the long shots that they used in Unbreakable for Glass, and I really like that a lot. And that's pretty much where my positives stop, because now we'll get into my negatives. And you might have noticed I said the first 2/3 are great. That's because let's get into the last third. Now, you guys might have heard this, but the last third has had many people divisive. There's people that like the last third and people who don't. I'm on the side, sadly, that didn't. The last third for me is too deceiving and too confusing. I think it just makes things needlessly complicated. And I think that if they went a little bit simpler and a little more straightforward, I think I would have liked what they were doing. But it just made things too complicated. Because up to that point, everything was going smoothly. But I think that once that last third hits, it really makes things deceiving and too. Um, it throws things at you that don't really add anything besides complexity. I'll just put it that way. And the yeah, I'm trying my best not to spoil anything because you could really spoil this movie a lot. There's a lot of stuff you can spoil with Glass. Um, but the other bit of negatives I have is that I think that there's not a lot of energy in this movie. It's very I wouldn't say it's a dark movie, but it's very how do you say it? Because Unbreakable and Split had a distinct type of energy to them, but Glass didn't really have that energy or feels that feeling of thrills or scares that the other two entries had. It just this one just seemed kind of going through the motions, which I didn't mind, but I was just kind of wishing we had that spark of energy that we had in the other two movies. And notice how I said most of the camera techniques were great. There's one camera technique that they used through certain points of the movie that I thought were not kind of odd, and that was a lot of POV shots. Like there's a lot of POV shots, but I'm saying like certain POV shots. I think you guys know what I'm saying when I say that there are certain POV shots that are placed in odd moments. I'll put it that way. Because for the most part, they do use a lot of POV shots, and for the most part, they're placed okay. They're placed fine. But there are certain moments in the movie where they make interesting choices of placing those types of shots, and so and I thought that they were just odd choices. And the biggest criticism that I can give to the movie, and ultimately just it's not really the last third, but ultimately just the whole film. I don't really know what the director's trying to say in his piece, and this is a very important thing in filmmaking. Every film has a distinct message or theme to it, and that's a very important aspect of filmmaking. Is what are you trying to say in your piece, and I understand the basic themes of what Glass is trying to present. There's themes of superheroes and comic books, and be discovering your true self. I understand some of those themes, but there are deeper themes and messages they were trying to touch that I didn't understand. And maybe it'll be more understandable maybe if I go see it a second time, because I think this is going to be a movie that would require a second viewing, especially with that last third. So, but overall, as it stands, Glass is a film that really has you hooked on the first two thirds. I'll put it this way, and I think it's going to be like a sneak peek because I do articles for my school newspaper, entertainment articles. This will be a sneak peek, I guess, for my the title of my article, and that is, I'll say this: it's a well acted conclusion that cracks. And because the first two thirds, as I said, it's really entertaining, but then that last third hits, and that last third will very much vary your opinion for the better or for the worse. And I'll put it this way: if you like the last two thirds, I think that you're not going to like that. Or yeah, if you like the first two thirds, I have a feeling that you're not going to like the last third. If you didn't like the first two thirds, I have a feeling that you will like the last third. So I'll just put it that way. But overall, Glass is fine. Glass is fine. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just somewhere in the middle. And in terms of where I place it with the other three, it's definitely the weakest. I still have Unbreakable as my favorite, and then I have Split, and then I have Glass. And for me, in terms of a score, I'm going to give Glass a 7 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I think that it does. There's a lot of great things in the movie. Like I said, James McAvoy is great. Once again, he is the reason to see the movie. There's some really interesting camera techniques. I think that the first 2/3 keep you engaged and invested, but ultimately it's that last third that really changed my opinion and really just maybe had to rethink my opinion a little bit when I was walking out. So, but I still recommend you go see it in the theater. I still think it's worth watching. I think that I might check it out again just to see how my opinion maybe changes. Maybe upon second viewing, maybe I might have a different viewing experience. But as it stands, I think it's fine. I think that it does. I'll say this. I think that it's great that M. Night Shyamalan is completed his trilogy. That's very rare to see in Hollywood. To see a director complete his story, I think that that's great. I think that his or her story, I think that that's fantastic, and I applaud M. Night Shyamalan for completing his trilogy. And I liked it for the most part. It's just that last third really, changed my opinion a little bit. But hey, maybe I see it a second time, and maybe my opinion might change. But as it stands, 7 out of 10. It's a decent film. Just has a couple of flaws when we get to the final act. But that is it for my review for Glass. Hope you guys enjoyed my first review of 2019. And do not worry, that vlog is coming very, very soon. And you guys let me know, did you guys like Glass? Did you guys not like Glass? Very sorry if this review was cryptic. I just didn't want to give away anything. So hopefully I was clear enough with this review. Hopefully I wasn't, hopefully everything made sense. If there's some clarity that you guys need, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll try to explain some clarity in the next video, hopefully. And hopefully everything's, hopefully everything, made sense in this review, because I'm trying my best not to spoil this movie, because there's a lot of stuff you can spoil. But that is it for my review for Glass. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and you guys let me know, did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? Did you guys on the same boat as me with that last third? And that is it. That's my review for Glass. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, as with these videos, Beau out. See you next time. Peace.